And we're back. Hopefully everything's running better now.
Cool. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully, yeah, stream will actually be much more fluid now. Whacking inflatable arm flailing DM.
For when you really need that party to notice the quest giver.
Alright, so Howard, you just found this really nice chest on the backside of the herd.
Guys, come take a look at this. Wave everyone over. There's a big chest over here.
Can we open it?
You walk up to the chest, and it's like your classic Legend of Zelda, like, chest. A nice domed top, very, like, oak. It's an oaken chest with a lot of inlay on it. It's definitely well taken care of, and it's well ornate with a lot of scroll work on it. It has a latch on it, and it is locked. It looks like.
Hey, Spleen. You want to break something?
What? You guys are all the way over there.
Come take a look at this. You might want to see this.
But did you see this giant pile of
Yes, I know the bones, but you might like this just as much. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Fleen does like bones.
It's a box. Okay.
Do you know what a box that looks like this usually has?
Another box?
No, usually something valuable. We have a problem, though. It's locked. You want to see if you can break the lock?
Yep. It's gonna go and try to break the lock.
Break it.
But we're picking the hammer side.
Alright. So, make a strength check?
Yeah?
Or an attack roll? I'm not too sure what to do with that one. Like, are you trying to be precise? Are you trying to be like...
I want to break this shit open.
Is it hammer time?
Sorry about that. It is hammer time. I'll just roll, and you just let me know what I need to add to.
Okay, so, at this point, then, you're going for... Just make a strength check.
It's a 24. That was natural 20.
So, Spleen, you line it right up, and, you know, you do your old baseball stance, and you take the axe side. Whoop, sorry, wrong side. Hammer side. Go in. Whack! You come in, horizontal strike. There was a nice top to the chest.
I mean, that works.
I did it.
Take a look inside.
There's some things in here I'm like, oh man, no. Nah, some of these would not have survived the hit across the top.
Oh no.
Aw.
I don't have a lockpick, so...
As you look in, you see a really nice painting. Or at least half of one.
Oh no.
Whoops.
But there is a pile of gold, silver, and looks to be bits of platinum in it. Also, you start investigating through it, and I'm gonna rope in your previous investigation check-in with it. You notice that there's, like, cloth of gold vestments in there. There's nice silks, like handkerchiefs. There's you find a locket, what it looks like, and you find a couple of vials of liquid.
I'm very
Come
tired
up
of
to-
all the vials of liquid today.
Spin them around, see if I can tell what they are.
There are a bunch. There's a couple of different colors. There's about 3 of them that are red, and one of them that is a very vibrant blue.
Mana. Else. Mana potion.
Because that's how D&D works. Mana.
Yeah.
Do I have any idea what they are?
Can I take-
Oops, sorry. Go ahead, Bryony.
Oh, I was gonna say I can take a look at them as well.
Yep. Okay, so
By
you
all
guys are taking
means.
a look at it together, and you're swirling it around. The 3 red potions look... They look like healing potions. And you guys both take a look at the blue. Make an Arcana check, the both of you. Either both of you roll once, or somebody do it at advantage.
What's my Arcana modifier?
Mine is a +7, so.
How about you do it? Cause mine
Oak
is 0.
doke!
Yeah, okay.
You do it.
Well,
honest,
don't.
To be completely honest, I was kind of surprised that Bryony wasn't the one doing all the medical insertion stuff.
Yeah, she's probably best at it.
Even I have my limit.
24.
24. You've narrowed it down to about 3 or 4 different styles of potions. You know that an ice resistance potion has the same sort of hue, but not the viscosity. Water breathing potion might be what it looks like, but you're not too sure. There's another one where it was like an ice oil,
Mm-hmm.
where you put it on and the weapon takes on the enchantment of ice. So any of your attacks would
Vapor rub.
have...
Some vapor rub.
Yeah. And the other one just looks like Vicks.
That stuff fixes a lot of stuff. Solution to solution.
Ginger ale and Vicks cleans everything out. The
I
perfect
need to
healing.
go to the doctor. What? No.
I'm not quite certain what this one is, but I can probably find out for sure later tonight. Let's just stick it in a bag for now.
I believe you can use it to clean your windows.
It's great for zits.
So, I'll keep one of the healing potions and hand the other 2 off to whoever wants them.
I got
And
space, I guess.
I'll hold on to the other potion for the time being until I can have a moment to identify it later and see if that can help me determine which of the 3 it is.
Okay. And you guys keep going through. You keep going through and you start separating everything. You find 992 copper pieces, 765 silver pieces, 875 gold pieces, and 10 platinum.
So we will divvy that up among each other.
And also, there's a couple more things. I'm just,
Hmm.
You keep going through, and you notice a carved bone statuette. It looks like a very feminine feature, like elven. Howard or Halsterian, have you guys, during your time with the Academy, have you studied any history?
I
A little.
don't think I have. No, Howard probably wouldn't have.
Okay, you guys make these all of you make a history check at disadvantage.
Even me?
Everybody.
Oh crap! This is very
Including the
oh,
audience.
boy.
Roll.
Yeah.
All right, audience participation. Roll for me.
Actually, that's pretty good
That's
still.
really good for
15.
both
Yeah.
What am I checking? History?
History.
Yes.
Okay.
17.
15.
What in the world?
22.
Mhm.
With disadvantage?
I rolled a 17 and an 18.
Oh, with
Damn,
disadvantage,
Hal.
I have
Wow. Jesus, last time I asked you guys, like, super disadvantage.
Super duper.
Here, I thought I was going to make this hard for you.
I don't think it's gonna fail. I got -1 modifier.
Spleen. I'm just going to start with Spleen, and I'm going to go through where all of you would possibly know this from. Spleen. During your time with the clan on the eastern side of the Valen Rapids, the giant rapids that split Falskallan from the east and west side, you have explored the ancient elven ruins that were out there, and sometimes you would come across these bone carved statuettes that look exactly like this. Howard and Halsterian, not being huge history buffs, but elven culture is quite intertwined with how Falskallan actually came to be. And it looks like it was a statuette that was carved within the very old kingdom about 1,200 years ago, of the main matron, Sephoros. She was basically like the founder, the great matron, the mother, the person who brought all of these elven tribes together to create this kingdom. And so before they started working with stone, they tried with bone, and this looks like to be a figure her. Bryony, it's a pretty statue.
That's all I know.
Also, there's bone dice in there.
Bone dice?
Yep.
Pick them up. Eyeball Spleen to see if she's noticed them.
Do I notice?
They're really well engraved. It also looks like it was part of this ancient elven kingdom. Super ornate, super nice scroll work on it. Whoever had owned this caravan had probably hit a pretty good payload.
Time for Elven Yahtzee. Yes, Steve, I agree. Well, I'm gonna try and put those into pocket before Spleen notices them. And whoever's
Spleen, make
doing
it
whatever
first.
with the statue.
Actually, what is your passive perception, Spleen?
14.
14. Make a sleight of hand check.
Okie doke. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Simple enough. You pocket them. She's not paying attention. In they go. As you guys are rummaging through all of this and identifying and thinking about all that, you start hearing footsteps coming into the cave, and you guys turn around, and it's Ruvor. He comes in. Hey guys, how's it going?
Well, as you saw outside, it's down.
Yeah, I was watching the fight from the hill. It was really well done.
It.
Jeez, I didn't think you'd guys be able to trip it right up. He starts hobbling over. So this is
Honestly,
where the caravans were.
You know of the caravans?
Well, we do get shipments coming in from Menestad, but sometimes we get things coming in from Olska. People like to go out that way, go out the Velen Rapids, and then go eastward from there. I don't know what, but they always come back through this way.
I assume some of them have been missing as of late.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not on the regular when coming from Olska, because, you know, Olska's pretty much the last line out there. But, no, not really. No, not really at all. Anything coming in from Menestad we haven't had for a while.
We have received a party boon.
Ooh, what did we get? Oh, right, we have to roll for it.
Oh, yeah. You want me to roll that?
Roll it.
What a rip.
20.
It.
So I gotta roll twice.
And I think you get to pick two. One between the two.
So, DM, you have a choice for us between each of us gaining a bardic inspiration die of d6 or being reduced to 1 hit point instead of 0 the next time we would hit 0.
Oh, I can't decide if I want to torture you or you torture me.
Well,
if
I
it
could also
matters-
tell you we got a party bane as well.
Everything is balanced.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
As all things should be. You guys will, next time you hit 0, you go to 1.
Okay. And did
And
you
as
want me
for
to
the Bane?
roll?
Roll the Bane.
It came up as next time we receive healing, we receive 1d4 less.
Even better.
Mm.
Okay. So, yeah, Rubar is looking up and over. Oh, it stinks in here.
That it does.
But it looks like you guys fought really good and hard. So, I think I'm going to head back to town and, oh, that cart looks really good. Do you think it's functional?
We're gonna try it and see if it is. It'll be a little bit slow to get back with, but we don't have a horse, so...
Oh, don't worry about it. I'll see if I can go to one of the stables in town. You guys can wait here for, like, the day. We can get people come back.
I'd appreciate that.
You can hold off on the horse.
Are you sure, Bryony?
What do you mean? Why?
Did you see me turn into a snake earlier?
Was he a part of that conversation? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I think he was further
No, I think that-
back in the tavern. I don't remember.
It was in the tavern.
It was. Oh, if it was in the tavern, Rubor would have been there.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't part of the conversation, but he was at the tavern.
Yeah, he was at the tavern. Linster would have brought him out. No, he was there. He was there. He was the one who was telling
Okay.
Herod to.
That's
back
right.
off.
He was like, you think everything's cursed.
You think everything is cursed?
Yes. Well, I got horses too.
Oh, you don't have to do that, darling. Seriously.
I'll do it.
How long can you hold that for?
A few hours?
That's gonna take a lot longer to do that then.
Oh, well.
It's at
Offers
least
open, I
half a
guess.
day's ride.
Tell you what, Bryony, if you're up to it, we can start heading towards town. I can give him a little bit of a speed boost to get him there faster. He can meet us on the way.
Okay, sure.
we'll get a
What
little
do
bit
you-
of distance and then camp out somewhere.
What do you mean speed booster?
Well, I prepared this morning just in case your legs hurt. So I wanted to make sure if we had to flee, you would be able to flee with us and not be lagging behind. And I'm going to pat him on the shoulder and cast Long Strider on him.
As you do, you see Rubor like stiffen straight up a little bit, and you see him just like he's kind of flexing his muscles, and you see it is a very sinewy kind of person, not very like muscular per se, but he's just like years of being out in the wild. He's lean. He's extremely lean. You see him. Whoa! I didn't think this feels amazing. He starts walking, and he immediately doubles his stride.
It is
Without-
temporary, but I figured it would help with
Anything
your
to do
injury.
with anything that you could do that with a limp? Like he's still
I
kind of
can't.
half strung up here and not.
Maybe one of the others can, but I'm no good with healing.
I'm afraid not.
I mean, as long as I'm. Oh. Scratch that. Let me see how many spell slots I have left. Let me see if I can heal before I offer to heal.
Yeah. Sure, I could do that. No, I can't. I'm out of spell slots. Just kidding.
Yeah, I have cure wounds. I mean, would that help?
You're pretty sure it would.
Okay.
I didn't mean to make that sound condescending.
No, it didn't.
Okay, good. Just wanted
You're
to make
good.
sure.
Well, I go ahead and cast cure wounds on him. I just boop.
As you touch his forehead, you immediately see him just take a step back. Whoa! And as he takes a step back, he naturally walks normally, and he's like, "What? Whoa! That's really good. I like that. I gotta have you guys around more often."
Okay, that was better than what I had, but I did what I
Alright, well-
could.
Okay, with this, I should be able to get back into town, no problem.
Please gonna walk up and drag him down to his level. And whisper in his ear, "No, they're mine."
Make an
We
intimidation
accept
check.
tips.
Intimidation check, you will say?
DM, can I
So
roll
that's a
also?
20.
That's
It's a
what-
23.
What would you like to do, Brian?
Can I roll for persuasion?
What are you trying to persuade?
I'm gonna tell him we also accept tips.
Oh, I love it.
Make a roll at disadvantage.
Pulling no punches.
Well, I got a 9.
A 9? Right, darling. I'll be back. I'll be right back. He immediately turns around, he starts running out, and to see a guy in his 50s run like a gazelle is amazing. He just see him off the field.
Is he on all fours? Is he doing the devil man run?
No, not doing that, but
For spleen exclusively.
it's a spleen exclusive. Alrighty, well, you do have a cart in the middle of a cave, and it is stinky in here. A hill giant's horde is a nice thing, but its living quarters ain't the nicest.
I'm gonna start loading stuff onto the cart.
I would like to dig through the bone pile to see if there's anything interesting. Any bones I think look really cool.
Make an investigation check.
I probably not really great. Oh, no. Woo! That's another natural 20. What is happening? But that's a 19.
Okay, so you're going through. You definitely see what looks to be like cow bones, horse bones, sheep, a couple of human-sized femurs, and a skull. But there's a lot of well-intact bones. Some of them are chewed to absolute bits, and others are just absolutely shattered. You're kind of going right through it, but you're finding a bunch of different splinters. Is there something in particular that you're looking for, or is it just...
Yes, well, you know, when you're at a yard sale and you just find something that really catches your fancy. You just have to gnaw through that crap.
You just gotta gnaw through the crap.
Yeah.
Spleen the bone thrifter.
Yes.
It's like, shakes, no marrow. Shakes, no. Nope. You don't find a lot of bird bones because they're kind of small, and you don't think...
Crocodile. Can I look for crocodile bones?
I'll get back to you in just 1 second. I'm assuming you guys are pushing the cart up and out
Yeah, see if we can move it a little.
after it's loaded. So this whole process takes about a half hour to an hour just to load it and start trying to move it. Spleen is going through this pile through this whole time, thoroughly looking and investigating. You're not finding anything that looks crocodilian in nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
worth a try.
But you found a bunch of really nice rib bones, femurs, what look to be toes, a couple of skulls that haven't been cracked or mangled. It's still, like, some of the pieces are very bloodied and viscera heavy, and others are picked clean and very much like classic Disney style, like the bone is sticking.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, you're kind of like, you have your pick and choose from a bunch of bovine, swine, human rib bones, horse.
Nothing.
Nothing new. I've seen these.
Nothing strike your fancy, Spleen?
I can always get my own.
I mean, there's plenty right there, and we apparently have a cart. There's plenty of room.
There's nothing new.
All right.
Things I've seen before, and I can definitely get my own. Trust.
If you're certain.
I'm good.
Cool. Eventually, you guys get the cart out after a bunch of pushing, and like, it's not hard to move a cart like this, and it's fairly flat ground, maybe a little bit of a hill, but pushing a car in neutral isn't too difficult when there's no brakes applied. You get out, and it's starting to be about 3-4 o'clock. You're starting to get into the mid to late afternoon. It's still a beautiful sunny day, but clouds are starting to kind of cover over. And so, what is it that you guys do? It's you're charged, like, you guys are not going to start moving this cart by yourself, or are you going to start trying to do it?
No.
Let's
We could.
get it a little bit away from the giant. Maybe not try to move it too much over all these rocks by ourselves. Just away from that smell.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's making me hungry.
Of course it is.
You guys eventually collect the giant's toes, and you have them kind of you have them wrapped up as if it was being like wrapping up pork loin. So you've got it tied right up and easy enough. Couple handles, couple of strings attached right to it. You throw it right on the cart. It's not exactly the greatest smell, but it's a lot better than what the cave was because that was pungent.
Mm-hmm.
Spleen.
Hi.
You start feeling your stomach gurgle. And not in a good way.
You know when I said that it's the aftermath that really matters. I'll be right back. She's gonna run back into the cave.
And
you have bubble guts.
You got the bubble guts.
My enemy in real life.
Hyper skits.
Hyper skits.
You ever just rage shit?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. You had to say it, and now I'm imagining it.
But you're basically in there for about an hour, and by the time you get out, you're a paler shade of green that just you don't look healthy. You're just not healthy whatsoever.
Would you like some water?
Pop cork.
Here. Just take the entire water skin.
As you hand the skin over to Spleen, she starts drinking it, and you notice that she's profusely sweating.
Ooh.
Spleen, you're getting cold.
Oh man.
And it's a warm day.
So that's something you don't need to eat often. You know, it's like a once a year thing.
Gonna be okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. This'll pass. I think I just need to get it out of my system. There might be another wave. Just scrunched up and stuff. Just got goosebumps.
You got the goosebumps. Yeah, it's not pretty. Hey.
Yeah, the dreaded poop shivers. I know. It's a little too close to home. Oh no.
Yeah. Howard, Steve, make a general intelligence check.
Steve, so you are aware you have received a boon for your for your hyper skits. Comment. That is a dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
You said intelligence, right?
Yep. Steve.
I have a natural 1, so can I use that boon now?
Yeah. What was the other boon?
He just received one.
The boon I just got.
He just received a player boon a moment ago. I just didn't want to interrupt.
But what one? Like,
did you roll on the table, Steve?
No, I haven't.
No.
So you got to roll for that boon, and see if you want to apply it.
That is a 10.
A 10?
Advantage on your next initiative roll. So close!
Well,
Howard, you're pretty sure Spleen never had this reaction before. because you're pretty sure the only thing she's eaten today was that hill giant's toe. And it was because the first one that she ate was properly cleaned and disinfected. Ew.
Good
Wow, that timing.
That even surprised me.
I could see it.
This is the best barbarian I've ever seen.
When your roleplay is on point.
Yeah. So basically, you've got the cart out. You have it on the middle of the plateau. It's getting kind of close to dinner time, but Spleen is curled over. You're pretty much out.
I'm gonna lay down on my side, and I'm just going to point my hiney away from people.
That's a dangerous weapon, is what that is.
So I want to lay under the blanket with me. I'll trap you underneath.
Oh man, that brings a whole new method to a spleen oven.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god, this is a little too real.
You guys are wild. Alright, so with that, you guys are going to be set up camp then? Or are you guys going to try and get this thing off the rocks and whatnot and away from the hill giant carcass?
Get it off the rocks and then set up camp.
Yeah.
That is what we were going for.
Alright, so... I don't trust that jumping without your Alright. It'll take you a good half hour to get that thing down and around the hill giant and trying not to pop a wheel and destroy everything but you manage to do it, and you're on the trail. You pull it away and you find a clearing. Easy enough. It's within a little forested patch and just like a little off section. It looked like it was a natural part anyway. With a bunch of rocks and sitting. It looks like people have been here before, but this has been very long ago. So you guys start setting up camp then?
Yeah, sure. We might as well at this point.
Start cooking up meals or eating rations.
Rations.
I think it's a rations kind of day.
It's a rations kind of day. Anybody want to help Spleen with a remedy?
I was gonna ask if Bryony knows anything that could help with it, spell or concoction wise.
Can I make a medicine check for my ability to whip up some Pepto-Bismol?
Make that medicine check.
I'm getting cold chills. Oh my god, I have the shivers. My skin's irritated.
Well, you're in luck because I got a 19.
You got a 19?
Oh.
You normally have a bunch of, you've got a little bit of dried mint, a bit of shaved ginger to help with any of that sort of thing. Pine needles are also pretty good for doing a bunch of things like that. If you brew it, it also helps with settling. There's a bunch of thistles and roots that are around that you could probably try and find, but you're not too sure if they're into the area. But within your kit itself, there is a little bit of dried ginger.
Yeah,
which is
what I was thinking. We'll keep it simple. I just grind up some ginger.
Yep.
And can I? Spleen is still rolling on the ground, so I just take a little dust and go.
Right in the eyes.
This is all natural pepper spray.
No, I cut it into a line and give her a straw. I'm kidding.
Have at it, Spleen.
You
This
know,
will
you know the application
do
of
it,
using
too.
ginger is usually ingested with water, so like you basically make a tea of it.
Yeah.
And around the area, you do see pine needles. So with that, you grab a bunch of pine needles, grab the ginger, a little bit of mint just for the flavoring, so that you don't get like you taste tree sap, and it's not. And you whip it up. It's easy enough.
Hey, don't knock until you tried it.
Yeah, I did once. That was fun.
That sounds like a story.
Yeah, camping out in the wild sometimes is fun when you're having a bad stomach night,
Oh,
Oh no.
and you have you have a 30-kilometer walk to the nearest road.
The only time, sorry to, I don't want to divert too much, but the only time I've been out camping way out in the wilderness, there was a tornado in the middle of the night, and I never went camping again because I'm like, no, screw this.
understandable.
Talking about leaving behind a trail mix, like, man.
Slippery elm. I will have to make a note of that, Eve. Thank you for that.
Slippery elm.
Slippery elm sap helps with sore throats and digestive tract issues.
So basically, it's just honey without the sweetness, and tastes good.
Well,
But
I'm sure
nonetheless,
Sleep is eating worse.
So you basically there is cricks around, so you can grab some water, you boil it right up, you throw whatever you got in there, and you give it spleen. But that's basically the best you could do. But you're pretty sure a restoration spell. You have the ability to do restoration spells if you have them
Prepared.
available and prepared. But restoration spells usually help accelerate the process of getting it done.
Yeah.
Oh, get that knockout. Knock me out, Franny.
Hang-
Just put me to sleep. Hal, you're strong. Knock me out.
Oh, she's begging for
Not
it.
that strong.
Spleen, roll. Roll a d10.
What? That's that one. I always forget what a D10 looks like.
It looks like a spaceship.
A 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
You get a bad series of stomach cramps, and it's not helping. Take 3 points of damage.
Just like in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm no longer at 69 health. This is dumb.
Aw.
I hate this game.
The great DM, give it the great DM. Take it away. Oh my god, this RP is absolutely
Sleep
killing me.
poops. Well, I can't control that.
So hours go by and you guys have the camp set up. The sun is starting to set and you're going to start settling in for the night. With that, you eat enough spleen, you're still not having a good time.
She's
Brian-
now like face down in the dirt.
And Brian, with that medicine check, like I would equate that medicine check to how to remedy a situation, but also to know how long a situation like that would happen. Having not dealt with hill giant fungus disease before, you're just like pretty sure this is going to be a really bad day, if not two. Of the burpees and the poopies. Stomach cramps and
food poisoning. Food poisoning where it's coming out both ends. The worst.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
The worst.
It's basically that. It's the worst case of food poisoning you will ever get.
I want to go back to that nice magic restaurant.
Absolutely, if we can afford it.
Yeah.
Well, with what we got on the cart, I'd say we can. Or at least pay off the tab.
Oh, just I love hearing, or I love reading what what you're giving me, Steve. Like, wow, Heath, Freudian slip. But no, I like learning about any of this stuff. So, any other knowledge you want to give in, by all means, please. I like doing knowing.
Vapor rub.
Out in the wild, you
solves
find this
everything.
canister of Vicks. Vicks.
Vicks.
It's really unopened.
It's just it grows on trees. Yeah.
Unopened oil barrel of Vicks.
Just all right here, right here.
Yep, right here. That's all you need. Oh man.
So, with that, the sun starts going down. You guys are still hanging around the campfire. Spleen, you're not having a good night still. But you do have a couple of items you do wish to identify.
Yes. Let me check.
Sorry.
We're going to use a second level slot on the blue potion and then ritually on anything else for the time being.
Okay. With the identify spell, I would assume you have $100 gold, or 100 gold
The
worth
pearl,
of pearl
yeah.
on you. So immediately you grab the pearl, you channel your arcane right through it, and as you do, your eyes flash, and you immediately just everything makes sense. You look at it; it's a potion of water breathing.
Damn, I knew it was one of those three. Not sure when we'll use this, but really good to keep on hand.
And then, so you start ritual casting for the rest of the potions?
Yeah.
And you do such. You sit down, you start scrawling all the runes out in the dirt right around you. You put yourself right in the center of the circle. As you do, your eyes start flashing. They start flashing, they go through the colors and the motions, and you immediately recognize them. Oh, these are greater health potions. These are really strong.
Oh, all three?
All three.
Outstanding. I will pass that information to the two who are not suffering stomach troubles and will probably remember what I tell them.
Yep.
We'll let Spleen know later when she's not likely to try and drink one to relieve her problems.
Yelling out in the woods. Ah, it's coming out like fire!
Oh, that's too real for me.
No!
I had a bad time in Cuba for just a day before I had to fly out. I was really lucky. I was really lucky I didn't have any attacks on the plane.
Well, at least it's loud enough. No one will know.
Exactly. But you guys go through all the rest of the stuff, and so you find, the gold cloth vestments. There's nothing really innately magical about it. The embroidered silk is super nice, and like all these very florally designs on it. It looks like this may have been what could have been a wardrobe. You find a handkerchief, and then you go to the gold locket, and you open it up, and there's a portrait, like a painted portrait of a man in there, just absolutely elegant, wearing a very old style suit. You got like the tassels going on and like very militaristic. So you kind of think to yourself, this was probably one very unlucky like person to have lost all of this
Yeah.
and to have been caught by that giant.
Shame.
Nonetheless, that's everything that you had found within that cavern itself. I'd assume you want to take another closer look at the cart, just to make sure there isn't any sort of like unknown fractures or anything.
Yeah.
And you guys quickly go over everything, and you find a couple cracks here and there. You and Bryony with a mending spell can easily bring everything together and get it tied enough, or Bryony with her naturistic ability can entwine vines or branches into axles or into structures to ensure that things are strong. And you do such. But it comes down to you're starting to get to later in the night. Time for watches.
I will take 4th.
Slade is not taking any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be
I'll take both 3rd and 4th. I'm gonna be awake anyway.
Spleen, I would also like you to roll 3d10.
Get them. 2.
So 3d10 equals 2?
Oh, 3d10. Oh, sorry, I think it's a d10.
Like,
Okay.
this math doesn't compute.
Yes. Okay. 9, so 2, 9, 11, and an 8.
9. So 2, 9, and an 8.
19.
That's a number. 19.
Yeah. Throughout the day, you take 19 points of damage, but this is also, like, throughout the night. This isn't all at once. This is you just, like, death by 1,000 cuts. Or death by 1,000 toots.
If I rage, it will half the toot damage?
This is, like, you can't anticipate.
Yeah.
Sure.
You can't anticipate the poops.
Can I just be so angry that I just negate?
No. You
the
can't be
gas.
too angry to negate the poops.
What if I just pat my guts really hard? You know, just kind of help me toot.
No.
No.
No. No.
No.
No.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so who's taking first watch?
I will.
I'll do it. Oh,
Oh.
he'll do it.
Very well.
All right.
I'll take second.
All right. Steve. Halsterian. It's a cloudy night. You're not really seeing the stars out. It's still rather warm, but it's getting to one of those summer eves where it's crisp, cool air coming up. It's a nice south wind, and the ocean air really helps to cool everything down throughout the night. And you're just sitting there. And is there anything that you want to do during this time?
Honestly, I'm kind of curious to see if I can learn anything from reading Howard's shield, if he'll let me.
Absolutely.
All right. Howard, what's on your shield?
On the back of his shield, the inside of it, if you will, is Howard's what he uses as a spell book. So all of his spells are engraved in the inside of his shield into the metal. The spells that would be potentially of interest to Hal are Alarm and Identify, as they are rituals.
I'd be looking at Alarm then, since I already have Identify as a ritual.
And you do. it's really nice scroll work on it. And so you're trying to copy it down, or are you just looking at it and just memorization sort of thing?
I'll copy it down when I have a bit more better ink for that. I know it'll be a rather costly amount of ink to copy it down into my book. Now I'll try and just remember what I read.
All right, just make a general intelligence check then.
All right. 18.
18. With your studies, you're pretty good at memorization and whatnot, and so it doesn't take you too long to kind of understand what the markings are and where they're placed and how it goes. You're pretty sure you could try and recreate this, but if you don't continually look at it, you'll probably lose it. But the knowledge is there, and you have a very solid grasp of what's going on. The details are harder, but the generalization is pretty good. Make a perception check.
Apparently these don't like staying on.
If they're not agreeing, maybe.
Yeah, I'll just keep it like this.
That works.
Sad deeply.
Yeah. Perception is 18.
18. Feel like you're being watched.
Let's see. Is there anything I can do about that is the question.
You start looking around. And immediately, you see a blue orb with a red aura.
Good evening.
You hear in your mind, Falskallan, where have you been?
I've been hunting a hill giant, getting a few extra materials and helping some folks along the way, perhaps getting some brownie points, as it were, perhaps to be redeemed later.
Okay. Brownie points. Really? You think helping the small, pitiful folk will help you?
It's worth a try, I suppose.
It'll make you look like a folk hero. Sometimes that angle works, but maybe it doesn't. I guess we'll have to see. You immediately turn around, and you see the shape of Lord Baltrus right in front of you. He's a red tieflinged man, horns ornate, and has like rings and loops in them, and like, you know, at the end of like a horn where it has that nice solid like cap on them. That he looks to be in his 50s. For somebody who was your super great grandfather, that's, you know, he looks pretty good for his age. Dressed in super aristocratic clothing, very finely done, kind of like what I'm wearing right now. He walks up and he sits beside you. You still haven't found anything to do with your friend, have you?
No leads yet, I'm afraid.
Pity. Absolute pity. I will need you back in Anver as soon as you possibly can. There are some plans that are being moved ahead on, and I would like for you to be a part of them.
Understood.
Where are you anyway?
We're on the, well, I hesitate to call it outskirts. We're south of Menestar.
That little boon town?
It was apparently good hunting for a hill giant.
I always heard their gallbladders were good as an aphrodisiac.
I may take your word for it. Hate to see what a couple of these folks do with any other parts of this thing. I imagine it goes bad pretty quickly as well, yes?
Maybe. I'm not too sure. I never found any myself. Nor did I care to try.
Indeed.
Well, my message is such. I want to see you as soon as possible. As he stands up, he basically, like Avengers, fades away.
There it is.
With that, the rest of your watch goes unabated. Rhynie, 'tis your turn. Anything that you wish to do during this time?
I see if I can find some more tree sap around and other herbs to make potentially a slightly stronger stomach cure.
Okay.
That's not so spur of the moment.
It's not so spur of the moment. Make an investigation check.
Okay. Sorry, spleen, I got a 5.
It's okay.
You know what to look for, but you're just having a difficult time finding it. You end up finding a couple trees that bear saps and resins that are used for lining the esophagus and the stomach to help the cramping. And you take a couple of your vials, or how do you collect it, I guess?
I stick a faucet in the tree like they do with syrup. And yes, I collect it in one of my many, many little vials.
And you do that. It's easy enough to collect. It's sap. It's super sticky, but I mean, you know how to get rid of it. You know how to handle it. Your days in the wild have served you well in situations as such. You make your rounds. You come back. Off in the distance, you do hear the sounds of wolves in the background, but they seem to be super far off. And again, with your nature abilities and your understanding of them, there's a possibility that they could come this way, but if they're super far off, it's just best leave everything be. You come back to the fire and you start concocting more stomach cures. Spleen is still sleeping, but not exactly having a great night. Still very feverish. And
Yeah, you notice like a diameter, like just like this of dead plants. Just
when she was a young warthog.
oh my god! Yeah. Yep.
But she's twitching. You notice actually that her scar is pulsing a little bit.
Oh. I don't touch it, but I do look at it.
You do look at it. Are you looking at it just to look at it? You're trying to discern something about it, or are you trying to?
I'm just looking at it for now, like, huh.
Okay, so perception check then.
Okay.
Pulsing, just like, wow. They're undulating. Ooh. Why did I say that?
I don't like that word.
Yeah.
What did you say perception?
Perception.
Okay. I got a 23.
Got a 23. Okay. You're looking at it, and the veins in around the scar are just... for lack of a better term, it's pulsing. It's moistly undulating.
Ew, veins.
This is what you get for making me gag.
I hate this combination. The combination so much.
But it's just the veins are black, and the scar just looks to be very discolored. That's all you can really get from it.
Man, the poop is just going coursing through my body.
And you're taking care of Spleen. You know, you're not force feeding her water, but you've got a little canteen.
Yeah, I have a rag of cool water, and I kind of leave it on her forehead.
Yeah,
but avoiding the scar, because I'm not sure.
Exactly. Yeah, that's fair. And so that basically takes over the rest of your shift. Just playing pseudo nurse and just looking over. I guess Spleen's out of the rotation, so Howard.
I'll be up anyway. I'll take them both.
Cool. Howard, is there anything you wish to do?
Howard is trying to figure out how to make a few spells work that he hasn't done before based on Featherfall throughout the 2 watches.
Okay.
And that was a 13.
Yeah, you start figuring things out. You start trying to mathematically throw everything together and understand what's going on. You know, you're trying to put a logical solution to a mystical problem. And as you're doing such, things start clicking in your head. You just start understanding, wait, what if I do you start, like, a beautiful mind, like, the math starts going across, and you're just like... Or it's like the gif of the cat with the flower on it that just... And it clicks. It'll take you a couple hours to get everything done up.
This one this way. If I draw over this room this way. Yeah.
And you start taking your sheets out for Featherfall, and you start modifying. You start going. You start adding and adapting. Describe to me what you do.
I am going to be trying trying to get something to levitate in place throughout the night, as well as being able to move something around in the air. And towards the end of the fourth watch, the party is going to be woken up by Howard laughing loudly, gleefully.
As the sun starts rising, you start hearing your friends laughing maniacally.
Yes! It works! I won!
And with that long rest, everybody levels up to level 6. Which I know we've already done off screen, but that's what it is.
Why
Spleen.
are you yelling? Shut up.
Spleen.
Hello?
During your night, you're tossing and turning, you're sleeping, but during your dream, you're surrounded by darkness. But you're up and you're moving fine. You're not hindered by any sort of pains whatsoever. Like, you still feel everything, but you're not hindered.
She's gonna. There's a ground. She feels like she's standing
Like,
on
you're
something.
you're on a ground. You're not floating in the middle of nothing, but
She's gonna crouch down low.
Yep.
And try to smell. Can she hear anything? Smell anything?
it's completely void of sound. You start trying to perceive things via sound. You're not hearing anything. You go down, you sniff the ground. You smell something extremely familiar. Extremely
Vapor rub. Alright. What does it smell like? What's familiar? Like,
Make
what?
make a perception check.
Wait, what's that? I keep forgetting. Okay. Meyer? 21.
21. It's a vulture. You know the smell is the vultures. And you turn one direction, and it becomes weaker. You turn in another direction, it starts becoming stronger. You finally pinpoint a direction where the smell is coming from. And what do you do?
I stalk towards it.
You start stalking towards it, and as you start moving, the world starts apparating in front of you. It's ghostly, ethereal. I was gonna say spectorial. That's not the right word, but you're walking through, and it's brush. You're walking through brush. You're walking through the trees. It's reminding you of home. You see rocks. You smell. It's the smell of everything is coming back to you. You coming, bam. You see a vulture sitting on a corpse, and it's just eating. It doesn't notice that you're there, but you're there. You're just watching it.
I do maybe 5 minutes of just basking and observing the behavior. But I'll just walk up and make my presence known after that.
It's eating. It does what a vulture does. It does that. Goes for a bone, cracks it. Goes for its marrow, devours it. It looks up, over. It looks right at you. It's staring right at you.
Why have you brought me here?
It stares. It stares with its yellow eyes, its slitted black slot for its pupil. It's just staring. It spreads its wings, its glorious reds, blacks, oranges, yellows. Starts taking off. And it starts flying towards you. And it's not so much as like an attack, but it's flying towards you.
She holds her ground.
It flies right over you. It's circling. 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 And then it flies right off. And you see, as it's flying off, you see the feathers come down. It turns around and it's floating midair. It looks up, finds a perch, lands. It's staring at you.
I follow the feathers and go towards it again.
As soon as you start getting close and you're following the feathers, it takes off and it goes further into the direction that you're walking.
Ah, I see. You want me to follow you? Alright, I'll follow. Lead the way.
You do so, and the trees, the rocky terrain that it was in, the plains sort of area, starts turning into more of a marsh. Starts going into like a boggish area. And you're following through, and you're going up and over hills, down terrain. Some of it's rough, but you're keeping up. You know what to do. You like this kind of terrain doesn't bother you whatsoever. It's up and down, over and over and over and under. It smells. You smell the peat of like the moss. You smell things, and you're starting to get more tactile feelings and senses. You're starting to see and hear more and more. This world is starting to come up throughout, and it's still very ghostly. All right, Brian, I'm just going to finish this up and we'll wrap it right up.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
As it does, you're following. It perches right on what looks like a banyan tree. Or not a banyan tree, like a sycamore, sorry. I'm not used to swampy areas, so I'm not too sure what the...
Alright.
But onto a sycamore. And the feathers start swaddling down. Swaddling down. You look. They land on a reptilian creature that you've never seen before.
We fight this? We fight it.
Staring at...
Stalk forward and keep an eye on the creature.
You look at this creature. It's elongated. It's squat to the ground, super low. 4 legs, super long tail, super long snout. It turns around, and you just hear a... Its eyes are staring at you.
Bare my teeth at it.
It lunges forward. It's like, I imagine you guys being like 30 feet apart, but it lunges forward. It goes about 5 feet. It snaps.
I will also lunge forward and snap my teeth twice. I
As
have
you-
teeth too.
As you do, it looks, snaps once again, but you notice one of its teeth flies right off. And it lands, it flies forward. It's about 15 feet in front of you. It turns around, and it goes back to where the vulture is. And it's just sitting.
Yeah, right away. Grab the tooth.
Pick up the tooth. As you do, you wake up.
I toot a little bit when I wake up.
You toot a little bit, you wake up, you hear Howard laughing. As you do, you're holding a crocodile's tooth. And that's where we're going to end tonight's game.
Ah!
Again, I would like to thank D&D Beyond for sponsoring us and helping us with our character sheets and everything. I also like to thank Keith at Lucky Dice Cafe in Huntsville, Alabama. If you're ever around, by all means head out because he's an amazing guy. And yeah. But I also like to say it is a pandemic. It is a pandemic, and I want y'all to wear your masks, social distance, wash your hands, and just love each other. We need a lot more. We need a lot more love in this world. But with that, I gotta ask y'all one question. Do you dare to imagine? Have yourself a good night.